The fish you're eating could be harming you. What every senior needs to know before their next meal. Have you ever sat down to a beautifully grilled piece of fish, seasoned with lemon and herbs, feeling confident that you were making a heart-healthy choice? After all, fish is often praised for being a lean source of protein and rich in omega-3 fatty acids, nutrients that are essential for heart and brain health, especially as we age. But what if that very meal, seemingly perfect and nourishing, could be quietly undermining your health without you even realizing it? This is not a scare tactic, it's a wake-up call. If you're over 60 or care for someone who is, you need to hear this. The truth is, not all fish are created equal. While some species truly do support a healthy aging process, others are loaded with hidden toxins that your body is less able to eliminate as you get older. Mercury, PCBs, and other environmental contaminants are found in alarming levels in certain types of fish that many of us still consume on a regular basis. The danger isn't just about what's on your plate today. It's about what builds up over time. As we age, our liver and kidneys become less efficient at filtering out these toxins. What you could handle in your 30s and 40s might now stay in your system much longer, causing a silent storm inside your body. This toxic buildup can lead to issues like memory loss, fatigue, tremors, cardiovascular strain, and even long-term damage to the nervous system. Let's take a look at one commonly consumed fish that exemplifies this hidden danger: king mackerel. Often touted for its rich flavor and oily texture, it's a go-to favorite at barbecues, church gatherings, and even upscale restaurants. But few realize that king mackerel is also one of the highest mercury-containing fish in the ocean. Imagine this: your father or grandfather has proudly held the title of family grill master for decades. Every Sunday, he's out on the patio, expertly searing fillets of king mackerel. He swears by its heart benefits. But over the years, you notice he seems more tired, forgets little things more often, and even begins to show slight tremors when lifting his morning coffee. Is it just aging? Or could it be something else? Something preventable? The answer may lie in what's been served on that grill for all those years. Mercury is a heavy metal that targets the central nervous system. In small amounts, younger bodies may process and excrete it more efficiently. But in older adults, it tends to accumulate. Over time, it can impair memory, concentration, coordination, and even mood. And once symptoms appear, the damage is often already well underway. What makes this even more concerning is that king mackerel isn't the only fish that poses this risk. Others like tilefish from the Gulf of Mexico, swordfish, shark, and some types of tuna also rank high in mercury content. Unfortunately, many of these varieties are still common menu staples. Without proper awareness, you might be consuming these toxic fish under the belief that they're doing your body good. This doesn't mean fish should be eliminated from your diet entirely. On the contrary, fish can be one of the most healing, protein-rich foods in your diet if you choose wisely. So what's the alternative? Opt for fish known to be low in mercury and high in beneficial nutrients. Salmon, especially wild-caught, sardines, trout, herring, and Atlantic mackerel, not king, are fantastic choices for seniors. They provide heart-supportive omega-3s without the toxic burden. And preparation matters too. Avoid deep frying or pan-frying fish in heavily processed oils, which can add inflammatory fats and reduce the nutritional value of your meal. Instead, bake, steam, or grill using olive oil, lemon, herbs, and garlic, flavorful and gut-friendly. The goal here isn't to instill fear, but to empower you with knowledge. If you're someone who eats fish only occasionally, say at a dinner party or potluck, the risk still adds up. Small exposures, when repeated over time, can have lasting consequences. And if you're already dealing with age-related health issues, minimizing toxic load becomes even more critical. Here are 3 easy steps you can take today to safeguard your health. 1. Check the source. Not all fish are labeled equally. When shopping, look for wild-caught fish from clean waters, and research the origin if necessary. 2. Prioritize variety. Don't rely on a single type of fish. Rotating between low-mercury options ensures balanced nutrient intake without overload. 3. Stay informed. Government agencies like the FDA and EPA release updated seafood safety guides that include mercury levels. Bookmark them and refer to them when planning your meals. Nutrition is never one size fits all, and that becomes even truer as we age. The best decisions are informed decisions, and even small changes like switching from king mackerel to sardines can make a world of difference in how you feel and function. If this information surprised you, you're not alone. Many older adults are just now learning how their well-intentioned food choices could be affecting their memory, mood, and overall energy. But awareness is the first step toward improvement. Tomorrow, as you prepare your meal, ask yourself, is this fish helping my health or silently harming it? With a bit of planning and smarter choices, you can enjoy all the benefits of fish without the toxic burden. And remember, it's not too late to feel better, think sharper, and protect your body from the inside out. If this message resonates with you, consider sharing it with a loved one, a friend, a sibling, or someone you care about who might be unknowingly putting their health at risk. You have the power to make a difference, not only in your health but in the lives of others. Stay informed, stay empowered, and never stop learning what your body needs most. At every stage of life, excessive mercury exposure in seniors is a critical concern, particularly because it can lead to significant cognitive decline, nerve damage, impaired coordination, and potential cardiovascular complications. Yet, there is often confusion surrounding the fish we consume, particularly when distinguishing between similar types that may present vastly different health risks. Take, for example, king mackerel and Atlantic mackerel. At first glance, they appear quite comparable in both appearance and texture, but upon closer inspection, the difference is substantial. This misunderstanding is something many individuals fail to grasp, especially when it comes to understanding the nuances of their dietary choices. Atlantic mackerel, a safer option, is lower in mercury and higher in nutrients, making it a suitable and highly recommended choice for older adults. It offers an array of benefits that not only support cognitive function but also contribute to overall health. However, king mackerel presents a deceptive health risk. Despite its similar look to Atlantic mackerel, it contains significantly higher mercury levels, posing a serious danger, particularly to the elderly. The issue here is that this risk is seldom addressed. If king mackerel is a regular selection at your local seafood counter or is currently stored in your freezer, it might be time to rethink its place in your diet. It's essential to note that completely eliminating fish from your diet is not necessary. Fish, when selected carefully, can be a valuable addition to your meals. There are safer and just as delicious options available, such as wild-caught salmon or sardines, which are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, low in mercury, and highly beneficial for both cognitive and cardiovascular health. These alternatives not only provide enhanced safety but also offer a more informed and conscientious choice for sustained well-being. The key takeaway here is that, as we age, food considerations extend far beyond simple taste. It is essential to make choices that safeguard our future, one meal at a time. However, mercury is not the only threat present in seafood. Some fish pose other health risks that go beyond mercury exposure and target the immune system, subtly undermining natural defenses when they are most needed. This brings us to the second fish that older adults should avoid: tilefish. Tilefish, particularly those sourced from the Gulf of Mexico, are among the most concerning seafood choices for seniors. The reason behind this is simple. Tilefish contains some of the highest mercury concentrations found in fish, often surpassing even king mackerel in its toxicity. The danger here is not always obvious to the consumer. Tilefish is often served in high-end restaurants, typically appearing on menus as a delicate and harmless-looking white fish, often referred to as the catch of the day. Its light texture and subtle flavor might give diners the impression that it's a safe and healthy option. It's even presented as an elegant choice, typically grilled or served with a refined lemon butter sauce. However, tilefish should not be underestimated, especially for individuals aged 60 and above. For seniors, the accumulation of mercury over time is particularly dangerous. This neurotoxin affects cognitive processes, memory, mood, and overall brain function. Prolonged exposure to high levels of mercury toxicity may lead to symptoms like numbness, confusion, memory impairment, and in some cases, even cognitive decline that resembles dementia. Tilefish, unfortunately, is not an option that should be consumed without caution, particularly because many people are unaware of its mercury content. Moreover, tilefish is often associated with upscale dining, which can mask the health risks that come with it. Higher cost and sophisticated presentation do not equate to better health benefits in this instance. If you find yourself dining at a restaurant and the waiter mentions tilefish, it's perfectly reasonable to inquire about the specific type of white fish being served. Don't hesitate to ask for an alternative if tilefish is being offered. Safer options include cod or haddock, both of which contain significantly lower levels of mercury and are gentle on the digestive system. Choosing these options over tilefish can make a significant difference in your overall health, particularly in protecting your cognitive and immune functions. Another commonly consumed fish that older adults should be cautious of is swordfish. This fish, while often associated with luxurious meals, may not be as harmless as it appears. Swordfish is not typically part of an everyday meal. It's often served at upscale dinners, possibly during family gatherings or on cruise ships. Its rich taste and impressive presentation may give the illusion that it's a beneficial indulgence, but this is far from the truth. Swordfish is a long-living, predatory fish, and as such, it accumulates mercury and other toxins over many years. By the time it reaches your plate, it may contain dangerous levels of mercury that can have a lasting impact on your health. What makes swordfish particularly concerning is that mercury, unlike some other toxins, does not simply vanish once it enters the body. Older adults, whose metabolism has slowed, are particularly vulnerable to mercury buildup. This can lead to a range of neurological issues, including memory problems, tremors, nerve damage, and even cognitive deterioration. If you or a loved one have a history of kidney strain, high blood pressure, or neurological concerns, it's wise to reconsider consuming swordfish. The notion that grilling or seasoning swordfish will eliminate mercury is a misconception. Cooking cannot neutralize mercury, which remains present in the fish regardless of preparation method. Fortunately, there are safer alternatives that can provide a similar robust flavor without the associated risks. Rainbow trout and pollock are two excellent options. Both are lower in mercury, rich in beneficial fats, and much more considerate of aging organs. These fish are not only safer choices, but they also offer a delightful taste and texture, ensuring that you don't have to compromise on flavor while making smarter health choices. The overarching message here is clear. Food choices, especially as we age, are no longer about simple enjoyment. They are about safeguarding our future. This involves making strategic decisions to replace potentially harmful options with those that are more beneficial. Choosing low-mercury fish options like Atlantic mackerel, wild-caught salmon, and sardines, as well as avoiding tilefish and swordfish, are simple yet effective steps toward improving health. At this stage in life, every meal is an opportunity to protect and nurture your body, ensuring that your food choices contribute to long-term well-being, particularly for your brain and cardiovascular system. Make these choices wisely, and you'll be investing in your future health one meal at a time. Imagine, if you will, a fish that you have likely encountered on numerous sushi menus, seafood platters, and upscale buffets. It is elegant, well-regarded, and a preferred choice for many seafood enthusiasts. This fish, however, may present a potential health risk for older adults, similar to, or perhaps even greater than, the risks posed by the previous three fish we've discussed. The fourth fish on our list is big-eye tuna, often referred to as ahi tuna. And it may surprise you to learn that it carries a level of risk that warrants closer attention, particularly for seniors. Sushi nights, once primarily the domain of a younger, more adventurous demographic, have now expanded to include a broad audience, including older adults. It's not uncommon to see older parents, grandparents, or even yourself enjoying a fresh sushi platter in a social setting. This experience is invigorating, contemporary, and conveys a sense of vitality and well-being. At the center of the presentation, there lies a stunning slice of deep red ahi tuna, often viewed as a luxurious and healthy choice. But as we explore the risks, it becomes clear that big-eye tuna might not be as beneficial for your health as commonly believed, especially for seniors. Big-eye tuna, like swordfish, is a long-living, predatory fish that swims at great depths. As a result, It occupies a prominent position in the ocean's food chain and accumulates high levels of mercury. This makes it a far less desirable choice for older adults than many might realize. However, there's another factor that further compounds the risk. Big eye tuna is often consumed raw in sushi. This introduces a new layer of concern, as raw fish carries the risk of bacterial contamination. In youth, when the immune system is robust, the body can often handle occasional exposure to bacteria like salmonella, listeria, and parasites. But as we age, our immune systems naturally decline in strength, making it more difficult to fight off these infections. A low-grade bacterial infection from raw tuna can have significant consequences, potentially lasting longer and posing greater risks than one might expect. Now, let's consider the combined threat of mercury exposure and bacterial risk for older adults. The accumulation of mercury, which affects the brain and nervous system, could worsen any bacterial infections, exacerbating health complications. It's critical to recognize that not all tuna varieties are the same. While many consumers might assume that all types of tuna are equally safe, there is a stark difference between big eye tuna and other varieties, such as the more commonly found albacore tuna. Big eye tuna, often featured in gourmet sushi rolls or premium seared tuna steaks, is known for its rich flavor, but the associated risks should not be overlooked. On the other hand, there are safer alternatives, such as skipjack tuna, often found in canned light tuna. Skipjack tuna contains significantly lower levels of mercury and is generally a more affordable, safer option. It's important to note that while canned tuna can be an excellent source of protein and omega-3 fatty acids, it's essential to limit consumption. Seniors should aim for no more than 2 servings per week and prioritize cooked options over raw whenever possible. This simple adjustment can make a significant difference in reducing the hidden health risks that may not be immediately apparent. Now, let's transition to another popular fish that is frequently found in grocery stores but may pose a serious health risk, particularly to older adults. Farmed salmon. You've likely seen it before. A beautifully presented fillet of vibrant pink salmon, carefully displayed in your neighborhood grocery store. The price might be appealing, and the health benefits of salmon are widely recognized. However, what many people don't realize is that not all salmon is of the same quality, especially when it comes to farmed salmon. Farmed salmon, particularly those raised in regions with less stringent regulations, such as Chile or certain areas in Southeast Asia, can contain far more than just protein and omega-3 fatty acids. These fish are often raised in densely populated underwater enclosures, where they are subjected to substandard conditions. To combat the spread of disease and parasites in these confined spaces, farmed salmon are often treated with antibiotics. Worse still, in some cases, they are given chemical colorants to enhance the appearance of their flesh, which would otherwise be a dull gray. But the situation deteriorates even further when we look at what these fish are fed. The feed often contains contaminated ingredients, including PCBs, polychlorinated biphenyls, and dioxins, both of which are industrial chemicals linked to serious health risks. These chemicals are associated with cancer, hormone disruption, and immune system damage, all of which are particularly concerning for seniors, whose bodies are naturally more sensitive. The presence of these harmful chemicals can exacerbate conditions such as arthritis, increase inflammation, and put added stress on the cardiovascular system. Despite these risks, many individuals continue to believe that all salmon is the same. They associate omega-3 fatty acids with health benefits, but they fail to recognize that farm-raised salmon, especially when consumed regularly, may do more harm than good. The solution, however, is simple. Seek out wild-caught Alaskan salmon. Wild-caught salmon is a far superior option. It is not only enriched with naturally occurring omega-3 fatty acids, but is also harvested from untainted waters, reducing the exposure to harmful chemicals. While wild-caught salmon may come at a slightly higher price, investing in your health or the health of your loved ones is undoubtedly worthwhile. Finally, we come to the last fish on our list, one that may evoke a deep sense of comfort and nostalgia for many older adults. This particular fish is often associated with cherished memories, history, and a sense of continuity. For many seniors, it represents more than just sustenance. It embodies a connection to the past, a comforting meal that recalls simpler times. However, even comfort food is not immune to the advisories we have discussed thus far. The fish in question is none other than the venerable, yet increasingly controversial species, the farmed salmon. As we've discussed, farmed salmon can be a significant health concern due to the conditions in which it is raised and the chemical contaminants it may contain. Therefore, it is crucial for older adults to remain vigilant and informed about the fish they consume. Making smarter, safer choices, such as opting for wild-caught Alaskan salmon and avoiding high-mercury species like big eye tuna and farmed salmon, can significantly improve overall health. By prioritizing quality and safety over convenience, seniors can safeguard their health while still enjoying the pleasures of seafood. The scene you've painted, a beloved moment with your grandfather in the kitchen, frying up a batch of crispy catfish, resonates with nostalgia, warmth, and the familiarity of family tradition. However, as comforting as these moments are, the reality of the food we consume has evolved, especially when it comes to sourcing and safety. What may seem like an innocuous, everyday choice, catfish, can carry significant risks, particularly for older adults. Imported catfish, specifically those sourced from certain regions in Asia, are cultivated in unregulated fish farms with questionable sanitation practices. To prevent disease in overcrowded conditions, antibiotics and chemicals are often used, which poses a particular concern. Some antibiotics used in these farms are prohibited in the U.S. due to their association with antibiotic resistance and long-term health complications. This becomes a particular concern for older adults, whose immune systems may already be compromised. What might result in mild stomach discomfort for a younger person could lead to severe illness, hospitalization, or worse for someone over 65. The reduced price of imported catfish, while appealing, may come at the cost of health risks that are not immediately visible. This is where we have to think more critically. Is the cost savings worth the potential harm? For seniors, particularly those with chronic health conditions or slower digestive systems, the risks are amplified. So, what is the more secure route to take? If you, or someone you care for, enjoy catfish, choosing U.S. farmed catfish is the safer option. The standards for fish farming in the U.S. are much more stringent, with regulated feed, improved water quality, and restricted antibiotic use. Additionally, ensuring that the fish is thoroughly cooked mitigates the risks of bacterial contamination. Properly prepared catfish can be enjoyed safely and still offer the comfort and joy that comes with these cherished family traditions. This discussion about catfish is part of a larger conversation about the decisions we make for ourselves and for the loved ones we care about, especially as we age. When we pause to reflect on our habits, small shifts in our choices, like swapping out farmed fish for wild-caught options or opting for lower mercury varieties, can have a significant impact on our health. These are the kinds of changes that may not seem grand, but they're transformative over time, improving cognitive function, bone strength, cardiovascular health, and even sleep quality. If you're considering the health of yourself or someone you care about, now is the time to make small, actionable changes. It's not about eliminating the foods you love, but rather about being more intentional with your choices. Take a moment to inspect your refrigerator, read the labels, and make informed decisions. Whether it's swapping high-mercury tuna for lighter varieties, choosing wild-caught salmon over farmed, or opting for better-sourced catfish. These thoughtful, compassionate steps are a form of love, caring for those you hold dear by ensuring that their meals contribute to their well-being rather than detract from it. I hope this reflection prompts some useful considerations and helps guide you in making the healthiest choices for yourself and your family. If any of this resonated with you, please share your thoughts. It's always valuable to engage in mutual learning, as this is part of building a community that prioritizes health, wisdom, and love.